Master, I didn't find any bats. The glass is fine too. It seems these bats sensed our location, so they focused on attacking the living room windows on the second floor. These tempered glasses, it can temporarily resist the attacks of level 3 mutant creatures. But for creatures above level 4, it is as fragile as paper. Wait until this blood moon is over. We need to get some advanced materials to replace tempered glass. What advanced material skills does Brother Fan have? It can transmit light and is stronger than tempered glass. Of course there is. What is it? In the Zhuanwu Lake, in the northwest of the city, there is a kind of poison dart frog. After their saliva solidified, 10 times stronger than tempered glass. Saliva sounds a bit disgusting. Before the words were finished, a strange roar suddenly came from outside. Hao was startled, immediately walked to the French window, looked out through the window glass. It turned out to be a level 5 mutant creature. Hao, are you okay? I am fine. What a hard skull! Although this guy has a very hard head, but it must have a weakness. Just now this strange bird. First, it used its bone claws to scratch Bai Ling's claw mark. Then it used its bone head. It withstood my thunderstorm. So, anyone who has degenerated into bones should have very hard body parts. So his weakness should be in the flesh and blood. Bai Ling continued to attack it. With Hao, Xiao Shuang is responsible for containment, creating a blind spot. Xiao Shuang saw this. He breathed a sigh of relief. Didn't he expect it? With the cooperation of several people, I actually killed a level 5 mutant creature just now. If my second attack still has no effect, it will definitely be torn to pieces by the strange bird, and Xiao Shuang is ready to fly in front of his master. Hao was already exhausted and out of breath just now when he was caught by the crowned bird. Hao almost couldn't breathe. Exposed on the spot, I handed him a handful of energy crystals. You should go to the bedroom and recuperate immediately. No need, Brother Fan. The night of the blood moon is still long. I must stay. You are like this. Staying here will also be a burden. Go inside and recuperate. Hao heard this, gritted his teeth. In his current state, if he stays here, he'll be a burden. He must recover as soon as possible. Can continue to fight. Hao took a deep look at Xiao Shuang and Bai Ling. Then he turned and walked into the bedroom. I turned and looked at the completely broken French window. No need to repair it. Let's just leave it like this. Whoever dares to come in will be killed. I came to the strange bird, looked carefully at his white head. The head was actually empty. No annoying brain matter or anything like that. Even those 2 points of the soul of the orchid. It also dissipated with the death of the strange bird. I reached out and knocked on the white skull. This deeply buried skull can actually withstand thunderstorms if it is made into a defensive shield. Wouldn't that be against the will of heaven? I immediately took out the dagger, pried off the skull of the strange bird directly. This skull is white with a sharp beak. There are bone beams inside for grasping. I put it on my hand. The skull can be used as a small shield to protect the arm. The beak can be used as a bone knife. It is natural. It is a wonderful weapon. I'll call you a bone blade from now on. Bai Ling, Xiao Shuang, and Fatty gathered around me, ready to fight at any time. I don't know how long it has been. The blood moon is setting in the west. A ray of sunlight shines into the living room on the second floor of the villa. The living room is full of corpses of mutant creatures. Black strange bird, two-headed lizard, three-eyed crow. The night of the blood moon is over. After this night, the human population has decreased by 1/6. This night, all 30 Chinese Special Forces soldiers were killed in the armored tank. After the Blood Moon night ended, a few people took a short break, eating breakfast in a living room full of mutant corpses. When will the next natural disaster happen? It's still about half a month later. I shouted through the broken French window. The chicken butt is having breakfast. A vine came in through the French window. The bright red flower buds bloomed excitedly. I cut off the butt of the roasted chicken with a knife. Throw it over. These mutant creatures in Wang Hao's living room. Have you opened the treasure chest? They were all open. Bai Ling took action personally. 3 black iron crystals. Not a bad harvest. Chicken butts dragged all the corpses out of the living room, thrown into the fish pond. Grind the teeth of Lao Wang next door. Then several vines stretched in from the windows. Rolled up the corpses of the mutants and transported them outside. Was how we'll wait. You are responsible for repairing the French windows. I have prepared all the materials. No problem. Xiao Shuang, please work harder. Clean the floor. Brother Fan, why don't you throw away the cow's eyes in your beef soup? The beef used is the front leg meat, so that's not the cow's eyes. Not the cow's eyes. Then what is this? Oh, I just saw it. The fat guy dug out the eyeballs of the 3-eyed crew. Play with it as a glass ball. Maybe it accidentally fell into your bowl. 3-eyed crew. Ba ba ba. Sexy rat. I want to let you off. After breakfast, was how began to rest. Xiao Shuang near the French window began to mop the floor. I went to the yard to check the situation of the villa halfway up the mountain. Under the sun, outside the courtyard walls, there are zombies that have been electrocuted everywhere. These zombies are really working hard. They came all the way to deliver energy crystal cores. Bai Ling, Fatty, you to go open the treasure chest. I went to the vegetable greenhouse to check the situation. Fortunately, I asked Xiao Shuang to lock the doors last night. Mutated creatures and zombies. I have no interest in vegetables, so these vegetables have escaped the disaster. I opened the roof above the vegetable greenhouse. Let the vegetable seedlings enjoy the long-lost sunshine. I walked out of the greenhouse. I came to the pond. The pond was surrounded by the bodies of small bats. It seems that they did not forget to torment Lao Wang next door last night. Lao Wang is still alive. Lao Wang, I just need to put my head back into my shell. No bat can do anything to me. You are now level 4. You should be able to climb out of the pool. Come on, crawl out. Let's go for a walk and get some sun. I won't go out no matter how hard I try. It's better to stay in your nest and eat the corpse. I'll take out a leg of lamb. Are you sure you can't come out? Master, please wait a moment. I am here, Lao Wang. Lao Wang next door is sticking out his big butt, climbing out of the pond with a grunt. Follow me to the yard. I jumped onto the turtle shell of Lao Wang next door and sat down. Then I used a fishing rod to hang the lamb leg in front of his eyes. Lao Wang walked around the villa buildings. Lao Wang next door didn't listen to what I said at all. I just wanted to eat fresh lamb legs as soon as possible. Through this round of inspection, I found a big problem. These damn bats actually urinate and defecate everywhere. Now the villa is full of their shit. Chicken ass, come out. The soil shook. Chicken butt came out from the ground. Walked in front of me. After last night's battle, chicken butt swallowed no less than 100 bats. The level has been raised to level 4. Now there is something to arrange. Clean up the bat poop in the whole building for you. What are you afraid of? You are a mutant plant after all. These bat poops are fertilizer for you. Or fresh organic fertilizer. Do you know what this organic fertilizer means? Organic fertilizer. It is the fertilizer that some chickens excrete with their buttocks. So these fertilizers all have the smell of chicken buttocks. Chicken buttocks are so powerful that organic fertilizers are so powerful. After, let me clean up all the organic fertilizers. Pile the clean bat droppings next to the greenhouse. Use it for fertilization later. Hurry up. Don't let the fat guy take away the organic fertilizers. Hearing this, the chicken turned and ran away. He started to clean up the bat droppings on the upper floor of the villa. Let's go for a walk outside. Do you think I am a horse? Still, I can't run as fast as you walk. Just then, a majestic figure rushed down from the mountain. Walked to the gate of the villa. King Kong's body seemed to have grown a circle. 3-meter-high courtyard wall King Kong could have jumped in, but he didn't. Instead, he behaved properly, standing quietly in front of the gate, waiting for the people inside to open the door. I pressed the button on the remote control. The gate opened to both sides. King Kong looked into the yard and saw me riding a giant black turtle. He couldn't help but widen his eyes. This giant turtle has at least 4 episodes. He exuded a strong pressure from his whole body. He looked like a tough guy, but this big turtle was riding on me. But he didn't have any temper at all. Hey, King Kong walked in front of me. He raised his hand and pressed it on his heart. Then he bowed down and worshipped me. The monkeys were not injured last night, right? He followed my instructions last night. He took all the monkeys into the cave and hid them there. And he sealed the entrance of the cave with stones that night. The heart-wrenching roar outside lasted all night. Go out of the cave today. The forest is full of corpses of mutant creatures. Left half. Take the rest back to improving your own strength. Weak creatures are not worthy of following me. Do you understand? Today, I will lead the monkeys to clean up the corpses in the mountains. Throw it farther away. It will stink in 2 days. Okay, go back now. I watched King Kong leave. I looked at the huge back mountain again. Let the monkeys manage the back mountain. Definitely easier to control than people. Also more reliable. At this time, Bai Ling came over with a charming cat step. Fat guy following behind. Little fat guy, I am warning you, don't think of the organic fertilizer of my butt. What evil thoughts do you have? You just pretended to fall. In fact, it was just to steal the organic fertilizer. You can fool me. My master just warned me. Told me to be careful of you stealing. Bai Ling shot. Yes, there are probably hundreds of these energy crystals. At this time, Wang Hao walked out of the gate, holding a flying machine in his hand. Brother Fan, what is this? I took the flying machine and looked at it carefully. The flying machine was covered with scratches. One of the 4 propellers had been bitten off. Isn't this just an ordinary flying machine? Where did you find it? It's right at the door. There's only one villa on the mountain at the door. There's no one else living around. Then where did this aircraft come from? It's impossible for a zombie to operate an aircraft. Moreover, this aircraft is covered with claw marks and bite marks, like it was chased and bitten by a raptor. It seems that the black bird last night was deliberately lured here by someone using an aircraft. Who the hell is so wicked? They actually plotted to murder us, although there were many mutant creatures that attacked the villa last night. But the blackbird was the strongest, and that bird almost took Wang Hao's life. Bai Ling instantly understood what I meant. He lowered his head and sniffed the wreckage of the aircraft. Besides the smell of me, Wang Hao, and the strange birds, there was also the smell of a person, and the smell of a person, at the same time as finding him. In the living room of a 2-story building, the bloated Liu Qiangxi was lying on the sofa, playing with a remote controller in his hand. How was last night's work? The boss has been dealt with. Using a flying machine to lure monsters to attack 8 courtyards. 7 were dealt with. Now the brothers are scavenging supplies in those courtyards. It must be a bumper harvest. There is another reason why it was lost. I also find it strange. Logically speaking, the monster that was led over is the strongest. But I don't know what happened. It just didn't work. I just used a telescope to observe. The villa on the hillside. A man was riding. A big cow was walking in the yard. Okay, stop the fucking nonsense. Let's do it again tonight. Must succeed. Only if it succeeds will there be no evidence. Because dead people don't talk nonsense. When I was about to get ready, The two immediately left the second floor hall. He walked downstairs. Liu Qiangxi made sure that the two had gone far away. He then opened the drawer under the coffee table, took out a few slices of bread and a small jar of butter. Before the end of the world, Liu Qiangxi made his fortune by reselling aircraft, by deceiving consumers, earned his first pot of gold by exploiting workers. After the end of the world, Liu Qiangxi still robs people with his flying machine, making money from the dead. Suddenly, a heart-wrenching scream came from downstairs. Liu Qiangxi was shocked. He carefully put the bread back on the coffee table. He dragged his bloated body to stand up from the sofa. He hurried down the stairs to check the situation. The lobby on the first floor has become a slaughterhouse. Several men fell in a pool of blood. All of them were killed with a single blow. Clean and tidy. Liu Qiangxi ran up to the lobby on the second floor with huge steps, prepared to run away with all the food. You. Who are you? The one who wants you dead. Two friends. I don't know how Liu offended you. Boss Liu, your flying machine is really good. It can fly to our yard from such a long distance. These two people are the ones who slipped through the net last night. Two friends. I really don't know about this. It was all done by those bastards under my command. They deserve to die. A bunch of rubbish. While saying this, he walked his round body to a password box. Quickly entered the password. Pull it open. A pile of instant noodles and sausages. Please accept this as an apology to you too. Not enough. Not enough. Please wait a moment. As he spoke, he opened a small door. It's full of unopened remote-controlled aircrafts, remote-controlled boats. These are all good things for you. It's still not enough. It's not enough. What else do you want? I said I wanted your life. This is too much. This is gigantism. Let me tell you. This guy is an awakener. He just likes to play cowardly. Bai Ling, let me do it. Brother Fan, you should do it. This guy is too powerful. I don't need to do anything with this kind of guy, Bai Ling. Fuck. Bai Ling, when did you become so powerful? What was that just now? Well, what did Brother Fin say? Bai Ling said little trash. I want to tell you. Wang Hao's mouth twitched fiercely. I was actually despised by a cat. People are worse than cats these days. Bai Ling's move is called Shadow Clone. It can transform into 3 clones to attack the target. No matter which clone succeeds, it can deal a fatal blow to the enemy. And if the enemy wants to dodge or block, then they must dodge at the same time, or block the attack of 3 Bai Lings. I'm going to Bai Ling. You don't have martial ethics. It was originally a one-on-one. Once you used this skill, it turned into a group fight. I walked to the safe, put the instant noodles and sausages in the safe, into the space temple. Then I went to the warehouse where the remote-controlled aircraft were stored. The aircraft and remote-controlled boats in the warehouse had not been unpacked. All the new ones were stored in the space temple. What does Fang need that thing for? Liu Qiangxi used a flying vehicle to attract zombies. Although this method is insidious, but it is very effective. The cost is also low. We can use it. And if we encounter any dangerous areas in the future, we can use aircraft to explore. Teammate, let's go. Let's come back. 2 people and 1 cat returned to the villa halfway up the mountain. At this moment, the zombie corpses around the villa and in the yard were cleared. The bat corpses on the upper floor of the villa were also cleaned up. The chicken butts piled the bat dropping at the back of the vegetable greenhouse. Convenient for fertilization. Chicken butt did a good job. I took out a roasted chicken to save effort. Cut it off with a knife. Chicken butt threw it into the air. Chicken Butt has another important task for you. If you do a good job, the master will give you a big reward. The bat dung pile suddenly shook a few times after hearing this. A white and tender carrot head climbed out from inside. It was the Chicken Butt. He was afraid that the fat guy would come to steal his organic fertilizer in the middle of the night, so he simply hid in the dung heap. At this moment, he heard that there was a big reward. Chicken Butt immediately ran towards me. Stop and don't get any closer. Yes, just stand 3 meters away and talk. We have also experienced the battle last night. If we encounter the attack of the Bat Army again next time, you can't defend it by yourself. So I sent you to the back mountain forest this time. Find more mutant carnivorous plants, then bring them here to settle down. In this way, not only can the defense range cover the entire villa area, the defense density will also be greatly increased. Ding ding ding! You will be the leader of the mutant piranha plant group in the future. How many mutant piranha plants did you find this time? I will reward you with that many chicken butts. 1 for 1. 2 plus 3 equals 4. March 8th Women's Day. May 4th Youth Day. That's a lot of chicken butts. This butt is going to be big this time. Finally, I am going to achieve chicken butt freedom. He immediately packed his luggage. He waved goodbye to everyone while carrying his luggage. He walked out of the villa gate with a heroic and high-spirited manner. He was going to find his ideal. 1 minute later, Chicken Butt came back again. Why did you come back again? Chicken Butt looked worried, pointed at the pile of bat droppings. Okay, I'll help you watch it. I'll never let the fat guy steal it. Chicken Butt nodded with satisfaction. I walked out of the door with my bag on my back. I came to the living room on the 2nd floor of the villa. Brother Fan, all the energy crystals collected in the past few days are here. I roughly counted them. There are more than 300. We'll stay at home for a few days. Use up all these energy crystals. First, to improve my own strength. Second, to wait for Chicken Butt to come back. Rearrange the villa's defense system. That's great. Multi-energy crystal. I can definitely upgrade to level 5. I observe the bats in the cage. After all, it is related to the strange curse seal on my palm, but I still have no clue. After 3 days, my lightning attraction can be successfully broken through. Reached bronze level 6. The space system has also reached the bronze level. Bai Ling's shadow clan has also reached level 6. The use of shadow clones has become more proficient. The 3 clones can exist at the same time for 10 seconds. Xiao Shuang has also reached bronze rank 4. Fatty's curse finally reached level 5. One curse can instantly kill a level 1 zombie. The more times you curse, the stronger the effect. The range of the curse has also expanded to 10 meters. Every time I see this little fat boy, I think, if he keeps cursing, the zombie lord in the center of Chang'an, over time. Can you just curse the zombie lord to death? One house breath finally reached level 5. The defense capability of the 5th earth barrier has doubled. Wang Hao is only level 5. Bai Ling is already level 6. Brother Fan, I also want to upgrade to level 6. But you swallowed all the energy crystals. Okay, each of us can use at most 50 energy crystals. You used more than 130 by yourself. Is that so? At this time, the fat boy ran in happily. He called out to me. Then he pointed outside. I went to the French window and looked out. I saw a group of big white butts jumping up and down at the door. Noisy. This is the Chicken Butt back. Several people hurried out of the villa. I pressed the door switch. The iron door slowly opened to both sides. The next moment, a bunch of radish heads jumped towards the villa. Chicken Butt jumped up, holding my thighs, to the right foot, then pointed to the mutant piranha plants in front of him. Wow, so many mutant piranha plants. Several white and fat mutant carnivorous plants stood in front of a few. People with wide eyes and a curious look on their faces. Looking at the villa, looking at us. These mutant carnivorous plants all look similar. Most of them are at level 2 or 3. Only Chicken Butt has reached level 4. At this time, the Chicken Butt looked like a real one. When it came to these mutant carnivorous plants, it also cleared its throat. Then it let out a strange cry. Okay. Suddenly, several mutant carnivorous plants fell to the ground. They immediately formed a long line. Stand at attention. Chicken Butt nodded proudly. Then he said a lot of things. Pointed at me. Give me a thumbs up. Then he pointed at himself. He extended his index finger. Several mutant flowers stamped their feet. Kiki agreed. The look he gave me was full of awe. Is this taming? The thumb means the boss. Then, Xiao Shuang thought it was very funny, chuckling non-stop. Fatty laughed the loudest. At this time, Chicken Butt heard the laughter, turning his head and glancing at Fatty. He pouted and pointed at his eyebrows, stretched out his little finger. Chicken Butt, you will be the boss of these mutant carnivorous plants in the future. Now let them take root in the villa yard. Build a defense network. The Chicken Butt stood at attention. Salute me. Then turn around and take a small turn. The mutant world image suddenly rushed out. They all rushed into every corner of the villa compound. Then the vines began to spread. All of a sudden, the whole villa compound was covered with red, blue, and yellow flower buds. At a glance, green, bright colors. Very beautiful. Hey, little beauty, you lose money and stay in the villa to spend the night together. The Chicken Butt walked back to its own pit. Holding the little beauty, he went in. The next moment, the vines stretched out instantly, wrapped the whole villa building. Flowing out of the second floor window, purple and red flower buds dotted the space. Oh my god, now our villa compound has become a big garden. In this way, the defense of the entire villa has been upgraded to a higher level. Now, even if a level for mutant creature breaks in, it will be entangled by these mutant carnivorous plants and become a mummy. Now all that's left is to remove the window glass of the villa, all replaced with stronger materials. There are still more than 10 days before the next natural disaster, although there is plenty of time. But we must make preparations early. Xiao Shuang, Wang Hao and Bai Lin will go out tomorrow. You and Fatty stay to look after the house. We need to find a material to replace tempered glass, reinforcing the villa. Okay. That night, I cooked a big meal myself. We all had a great meal together. Of course, I didn't forget to reward the chicken buttocks. I cut 10 chicken buttocks directly. The chicken buttocks became popular overnight. Achieved chicken buttocks freedom. After eating and drinking, Xiao Shuang went to the kitchen to wash the dishes. Was Hao and Fatty hid in the bedroom to study hard. I took out my phone and started to read the local news. Although a small number of network-based stations were destroyed by mutants, the network speed is very slow, but the network can be used for the time being in a dozen days. After the red storm sweeps the world, the internet will be completely paralyzed. Local news is all official information. 9% of them are the locations of major shelters, routes, and various resettlement measures. Distributing physical goods is the most attractive condition of the registered survivor. You can receive 3 steamed buns every day, a sausage, a bag of pickled mustard tubers. I read a lot of news. I haven't found it yet. Information about the zombie lord in Chang'an City. It makes sense if you think about it. The operation to eliminate the zombie lord failed. It is impossible for the officials to disclose this news. Wouldn't that be a slap in the face? But the news also mentioned an interesting thing. That is, some underground black markets have appeared in Chang'an City. These underground black markets are controlled by the awakened forces. On the black market, you can exchange survival supplies for energy crystals, extraordinary materials, and other items. Even crystals can be exchanged for awakening, like the Bloody Butcher's axe and the head of the black monster bird. All belong to extraordinary materials, 10 times stronger and 100 times sharper than artificial materials. Now the awakened ones. They have already started to use these extraordinary materials to make weapons. And these black markets also hold some large auctions regularly. There will be many hidden treasures at the auction. What is worth pondering is, the Chinese military tacitly acknowledges the existence of these black markets. The reason why the military did not suppress these black markets may be due to 2 considerations. First, although these black markets are illegal organizations, they provide survivors with a place to exchange materials and improve their survival rate. 019-250, 7,500. The second point is the most important, the existence of the black market. It can enhance the strength of Chinese awakeners. Now the end of the world is coming. The number and quality of awakeners. It is the real battle of a country's strength. At the same time, the Chinese authorities have already released the news secretly. As long as you are an awakener registered in the military, you can receive a corresponding number of energy crystals according to your level every month. Any awakener who joins the army, the salary doubled. The world is about to usher in a huge change. The next morning, in Xiao Shuang's reluctant eyes, was Hao and Bai Ling filled the tank of the heavy truck with bow. Then we set out on the road to Zhuanbu Lake. Zhuanbu Lake is northwest of Chang'an City. There is a kind of poison dart frog there. After their saliva solidifies, it is several times stronger than tempered glass. I plan to collect poison dart frog saliva. Replace the existing tempered glass. Was how drove on the winding mountain road under the modified heavy tower, traveling through the abandoned urban areas. The program is much more dilapidated than before. There are more zombies wandering around. Brother fan, many zombies have been upgraded. It is hard to see level 1 zombies. After the blood moon, the zombies have generally been upgraded. I don't know now. What level did that zombie lord reach? Bronze 8. Level 9 may even break through to Black Iron Street. Fuck, let's stay away from the city center to avoid getting into trouble. Just then, 100 meters ahead, a panicked figure suddenly rushed out of the store and onto the street. Help me. Please. Save me. This woman is blocking the road. The modified heavy truck is inevitable. There is no way around it. Although Wang Hao is no longer as kind-hearted as before, but he still can't do it. He hit a woman to death while driving. Was Hao stepped on the brakes. The modified heavy truck stopped centimeters away from the woman. Save me, please. Save me. At this moment, 2 men holding iron bars chased after her. Seeing the 2 men chasing after her, the woman was so frightened that she trembled all over. She banged on the car door even harder. Brother, save me. I can do anything for you. Get out of the car and take a look. They opened the door and jumped out. Bai Ling stayed in the car. 2 big brothers. Please save me. I really can't stand their torture anymore. You bitch, hurry back with us. As long as you serve me well tonight, I'll give you half a bun. Ha 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 here. The woman heard this, looked terrified. He hurriedly knelt and crawled behind me and Wang Hao. He hid. Hey kid, I advise you not to meddle in other people's business. Otherwise, Grandpa will cut off your little brother and feed it to the zombies. This pretty boy is pretty. You can stay and play. The brave man in the snow. Ha ha ha. Are you 2 eating shit? Keep your mouths clean. Please don't misunderstand me. Both of you. We didn't say we were going to save this woman. Just drag her away. Now you know you're a coward. It's too late. Either leave the car behind or leave your life behind. You can choose for yourself. Damn it. This is too much. I'll beat the shit out of your mouths. The 4 of them were immediately on edge. A war was about to break out. At this moment, the long-haired woman hiding at the back. Suddenly, she showed a sneer of success. A dagger appeared in her palm. Suddenly, she stabbed at my back. The dagger was still 3 inches away from my body. The woman's wrist was suddenly held tightly by a hand. How could you? How could I know your identity? It's very simple. Have you ever seen a captive female slave with a rosy face and full of energy? Hearing this, the woman gasped. A look of disbelief. She has deceived more than a dozen passers-by, men and women, old and young. But I never thought I would have fallen into her hands today. Hao was also surprised. He never expected. This poor woman actually was in the same group with those 2. The woman's head hit the ground. She fell directly into the concrete floor. She was like a puddle of mud. She collapsed on the ground. She died immediately. I'll give you 10 seconds to run away. Bai Ling will take care of it. Bai Ling jumped out of the car, turns into a shadow, and chases after him. Brother fan. Now these people's routines are really getting more and more sophisticated. Cats have their own ways. Rats have their own ways. In order to survive, I can do anything. At this time, Bai Ling's figure jumped out of a shop and came to me. After a long period of killing, the murderous aura on Bai Ling's body was like stone. It's terrifying. The 2 people and the cat jumped onto the truck. Then they continued to drive towards Juanhu Lake. An hour later, the truck finally arrived at Juanhu Lake. Zombies were wandering around the lake in groups of 3 or 2. These are the tourists who went there on the day of the Doomsday. Was how parked the truck at the entrance of the scenic spot. 2 people and a cat got out of the car. To be on the safe side, I put the truck directly into the space temple. Was how hid behind the doorpost. Observing the situation in the scenic areas, there is still more than 500 meters from the entrance of the scenic area to the lake. Just then, a buzzing sound suddenly came from the sky. Damn, such a big mosquito. One bite, then a big hole would be sucked out of my body. Brother fan, let's act quickly. The mosquitoes here are too big. What are you afraid of? Just think of it as losing weight after getting bitten a few times. That one T work. The muscular muscles that I worked so hard to build. How can I let mosquitoes get away with it? Let's go. The 2 of them cleared out several zombies that were wandering around the door, using the grass and trees for cover. Slowly moved towards the lake. At this moment, a high-pitched neigh suddenly came, followed by a burst of rapid horse hoof beats. I turned my head and saw. I was suddenly shocked. 100 meters away, a tall and majestic centaur rushed towards the 2 of them. Was how rubbed his eyes. Confirmed that he was not mistaken. That was a centaur. At this moment, the centaur held a blue sphere in its hand. The centaur saw us. It rushed towards me, and Wang Hao with the force of thunder. This person, not this horse, is so hot. Wang Hao took a breath of cold air.